how did you rate his performance?
Yeah, Pep started really well in the first half, especially. Got his hands on the ball. Thought he had some good movement in and around stoppage, and got forward and kicked some goals after that.
How hard does he work pre-season to put in a pretty solid effort for the first kick out?
Yeah, I think we've had a strong pre-season from a lot of our guys. I think Pep has been very good. He's been really hasn't missed a beat in terms of what he's done. So it's great for him to get a little bit of reward and certainly push his case for round one.
Last year he had some time away from the club early on. This time nothing like that. Are you glad to see him fully in force now, heading into sort of the first round of trial games?
He's given himself the best chance to play. I imagine he'll head up to Metricon next week and gives himself a chance to play round one.
That's lots to like about Josh Singh. Is something like today, how much does that go towards him putting his hand up for round one?
Yeah, we've seen a fair bit of Josh. A lot of our training sessions are, there's a 60-minute patch of match play or something similar in it. Today we've got 100 minutes of match play. Josh is a good mover. He can carry the footy. I thought his attack defensively was very good today in terms of how he tackled and got after the opposition. He's a very talented young man, and we're starting to see a little bit more on the field now.
Midfield rotations, are you any closer to working out your midfield? There's a lot of people who went through the middle.
Yeah, we've got two new midfield coaches that working their magic, and certainly a different sort of balance in there in terms of time spent today. So even today we'll get a bit more of a look at what it looks like, and probably a few less permanent half forwards in the team, and how they all manage their midfield and forward time.
What sort of splits do you think we can expect from Rose and Butters, for example, compared to where they've been last year?
Yeah, we'd certainly expect a lot more from them in the midfield, particularly Zach. Zach's really spent the whole pre-season in the midfield. There's not so many 100% midfielders in the competition, but he'll spend a lot more time in there. I think Connor, we'll be doing a bit of both.
Finlay said another one I thought that impressed early today, obviously, as his forwards coach.
Yes.
What did you sort of make of him? And I guess not only that, his ruck work's obviously something that looks like he's going to be doing a fair bit.
Yeah, it's interesting when you're talking to someone, when you're looking to recruit them, and they tell you they like rucking. You don't hear that from forwards very often, so that got us pretty excited. So I think the relationship between him and Georgiadis and Todd Marshall with Robbie is really important for us. I think they're starting to connect, and they're all quite nice ball users. Jeremy's ball use is exceptional, and so is his finish. So he did some very good things out there today.
What else did you like in general?
I thought our shape on the ground was very good in the first half. I thought offensively we looked pretty good. Our hands have been pretty good around the contest. Maybe not always at their best today, but in general they've been pretty good around the contest. To be fair, I thought the white team held up pretty well, given what they're competing against today.
Sid, what sort of chance is the chance of playing round one?
Well, we've got trial games coming up. We've got to play 26 next week. I think we can take up 30 to the Gold Coast. I'd be surprised if he's not in that 30. And then, depending on how he performs, he gives himself a chance to play the week after, and then we see how we go. The tough part for the drafted kids this year is I've had 2 years where they've played barely any footy. Like we've played, the recruiting footage we had of him was about 6 games over a couple of years. So, there hasn't played a heap of footy, so it's a little bit different this year maybe compared to previous years in terms of the amount of footy those younger people have played. But he's looked very good so far.
Do you like him on a wing, that sort of with his speed, and he can float up forward and kick a goal? Do you like that sort of position for him?
Yeah, he played outside. He's played more wing half back with a little bit of inside. We like the fact that he can use his legs and carry it. He takes the game on. So he's got excellent speed. So they're good traits to play AFL footy.
It seems like
the other good young one was Mead. He's obviously missed a lot with that career injury. You must be happy with his showing today.
Meady's had an outstanding pre-season, so he's someone that's certainly put his hand up to play, and I'd imagine he's right in the mix, depending on how he goes the next couple of weeks, to play round one. But he's been very good, playing a variety of roles, and I think he's fitting in really well to the team.
Just as a whole, is this sort of where you want to see this group? Obviously on the back of a prelim final last year, is this sort of the roundabouts where you want to see them at the moment?
I think we've had 3 to 4 weeks of really solid training where it's been consistent, high standard, and we're giving ourselves the best chance to play the best footy we can in round one. The conditions were a little bit tough today with the wind and what we're able to do, but the reality is so many weeks are in the AFL with something, whether it be rain or wind or freezing cold, so you've got to adapt. But we've had a good month, and we want another good month, so we're cherry ripe for round 1.
Fleury, McKenzie and Skinner, is that a genuine three-way battle for one spot?
In all likelihood, it probably is. So, there's a chance we could play a couple or two of them in the same side, but it's nice to have good depth.
Saw a bit more of Houston up the field today. Is that a sign of him potentially playing a bit of wing this year?
Yeah, Houston spent a lot more time in the midfield, probably the last month. Maybe a little bit more outside than in, but he brings a great skill set. His ability to run, get to the next contest, his ball use. I think he had a training session the other week where we had match play for about 45 minutes and he kicked 3 goals off the wing, and we're starting to think he's a pretty good chance for the Coleman medal. So, Dan's had a good pre-season. He actually hurt his ankle Monday. We thought he was going to be out for 2 weeks, and he hobbled out in crutches on Tuesday, and then he was back jumping around by Wednesday. So, made a miraculous recovery. So it was good to see him out there today.
Can you give us any sort of update on the Razio Fantasia?
Yeah, Razio had his knee surgery yesterday. It sounds like it went reasonably well. They're talking about running in 4 to 6 weeks and probably a month of good training after that. He should be ready to play.
And how's Charlie progressing?
Yeah, Charlie's going well. So, he's not far away from running now. I think he might be on the Ultra G. But yeah, Charlie's been in really good spirits. He's been great around the footy club, and it's been good to see how well he's responded to the injury.
Is he battling to get for round 1?
Yeah, look, we expect to be back for round 1, but like any injury, you're never sure of how quickly it recovers, and he's got to put 106 kilos through his ankle, so it's a bit more than most, but he's travelling pretty well.
Did you like what you saw of Vicentini? I mean, his attack on the ball and leap certainly stood out today, I thought.
It did. We actually started to think that he looked a little bit like Sticks Kernahan out there with the flowing hair, but I thought Dante did a great job. Hazy hurt his Achilles a little bit last week, and it was Dante's had a bit more time in the ruck since then rather than forward, and I thought he competed reasonably well against Scotty Lycett today. Scooter's had an excellent pre-season, but it was good to see Dante get out there and show that he's at least capable of competing in the ruck.
Will Casey go away next week, or is he needed?
Not sure, so we'll see how he recovers. He wasn't far away from playing today, but I imagine we'd want to take a secondary ruckman if we could.
You get through unscathed, just fine.
Yes, yeah, it looks like we did, which is a win.